Alright, so we're doing transmission lines on a 2017 f350-f550. I've done them on previous, I've done them on the 11 to 16s. But this one, they put the heat exchanger transmission cooler in a different spot. So that makes it kind of a pain in the ass. So what we're going to do is we're going to break these lines into two pieces. These factory crimps suck anyways. They leak in a few years anyways. So I don't feel bad about cutting this crimp off and putting clamps on there and some tie wire and wrap it around this little edge to keep it from blowing off, just as a safety. But here, I'll show you how I cut this crimp off without cutting the hose, and then I'll show you on the truck why I'm going to do this. Shave a little bit of time and effort off the job. Alright, let me show you. Cut it on the high spot, because the rubber is in the low spot. So if we cut it on the high spot, go till you just start to see rubber. See that? You can just start to see the rubber right there. Take the screwdriver, spread it, break the crimp without damaging the hose. Kind of roll it back. See that? We put a little nick in the hose, but we didn't go to the belts. So what we'll do is we'll just pull this apart, just like this. And I've taken a paint marker and I've marked, see, yellow and yellow. Not that the direction matters too much, but that way these lines go together and they fit perfectly. And we'll just put two skinny clamps on this, along with some tie wire. Stainless steel tie wire, so you never have to worry about it being able to blow off. Even if somehow the clamps were to loosen up or the hose contracts and it starts leaking, if I put some tie wire around there, it will never be able to actually blow off. So, yeah. Alright, now I'm going to cut and then I'm going to go underneath the truck and I'll show you why I'm doing what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to do the best I can and get you the best view here. So your heat exchanger is right here, right up here, just behind the bumper, and these lines wrap around and they go over top of this plow frame, which makes it a little bit more of a pain in the ass than it would be if it didn't have it. But it goes over top of this cross member, which can come out, but the plow frame has sandwiched it all in there. So that's not going to come out very easily. Not only that, it's got a bunch of bends, and then it's got the whole rest of it. And the lines need to go from, well, the way they're designed right now, in one piece, you would have to put them from this end through that way. Because to try to get them back through underneath between the engine and the cross member would be like impossible. So that's why I took it apart right here, to be able to put this side in and then put that side in and then put clamps. And then if I roll on back here, you can see that it goes behind the oil filter. Goes behind the oil filter. We're gonna have to unscrew the oil filter. I'm hoping the 11 to 16s, you had to take this bracket off in order to get the lines out. I'm hoping that we can do without that on this. This cross member is a little bit different. And then you got one bolt right there. So it's actually pretty simple, but I'm just showing you my little twist on it, where I take the lines apart and split them, so that way we can make it a little bit easier. Otherwise, I'd probably have to lift the engine. I'd probably have to take the cross member out. I'd have to deal with more bolts, and it would be a pain in the ass. As it is, it's still going to be a pain in the ass, but it's going to be my pain in the ass. Alright, so my last clip, I said that we didn't need to jack up the engine or whatever. Well, I was wrong. I did need to jack up the engine. On the older ones, I didn't have to, but on this one I did. But it was easy. Just take out 3 15/16 or 24 millimeter headed nuts right here. Take out 3 of those. I stuck a bottle jack with a 6-inch block and a 2x4 to keep from denting the pan underneath the engine. Picked it up about 3/4 of an inch. The lines, see, I'll show you. They got to come out through here. You can't take them out through here. You got to take them out through here. But they come right out, no problem. Right through this little hole right here. And you just kind of wiggle it around a little bit. It goes right on. The little donuts fall off. But we'll put the donuts back on. Either way, the only thing I would recommend is maybe blow a little bit of air through the lines, because when I pulled the lines out, it was tipped and spilled oil directly on my face. So I would blow the oil out of the lines before you try to take them out, because you'll guaranteed get it right in the face. So yeah. Alright, I'm gonna cut, and then I'm gonna go to when I get this all done and I go to the front, I got to show you the fittings on the cooler. The fittings on the cooler are going to be a problem, and I'll show you what I did to deal with that. So you see these fittings right here? Well, they have a special quick disconnect tool that you use, and that tool works just fine, except they get rust inside here and they won't come out. Yes, these ones spin, but I tried and I couldn't get them out. And I've also had them where you couldn't even turn them, you just shear it right off. So Ford, to the best of my knowledge, does not sell these fittings separately. But if you order them for a 2005 to 2007 Ford with a 6.0, the ones on the bottom of the radiator, guess what? They fit. Or even if you have them laying around. So up in here, you'll see. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. You can see that. So this cooler, they want to sell you the whole cooler. Well, they want to sell you the whole cooler. You got to buy. So, and I don't know how much it costs. I've never personally purchased one. But so what I do is I take the ones for a 6.0, the fittings for a 6.0, the bottom of the radiator. You can buy those. So you put that in there, and the line goes right in, no problem. It's the same fitting. But Ford won't sell you it for this. They'll sell you it for a 6.0 though. So okay, and then you'll see that let me grab my phone again. See, make sure you can see what I'm pointing at. Okay, good. So you'll see that I put these lines on 2 hose clamps. I'm gonna wrap a little bit of stainless steel tie wire around this nub right here, and then wrap it around the clamps, just for cheap insurance. But these crimps You know, and there's going to be some of you people out there that are going to say, well, that's hack. You can't do that because the crimp won't blow apart and the hose clamps will. Well, you know what? You're wrong, okay? Because I've had it happen before. I've had these crimps that I've had the hose blow right out of them. I've had them rot right off. So these hose clamps are strong, the same if not stronger than the factory crimp. So I don't want to hear about that. But you're going to tell me anyways. Also, the steering stabilizer. You move the unbolt the steering stabilizer and just flip it right down. Leave it attached right there. Just flip it right down, and yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, break the lines in two. They go in a lot easier that way, and then just clamp them and get some. If you really have trust issues, get some stainless steel tie wire and tie it around the clamps and the line. So that's pretty much it. That's how I did it. And you'll notice that I was wrong initially when I started the video, and but I don't believe in editing because I'm not perfect, and neither are you, and neither is any of the rest of the people. They just edit. So I don't know. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and catch you on the next one.